1, 2, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Board of Education meeting. I will ask we all rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance right there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item number 2, we're going to administer the oath of office for the 2 newly elected board members, Mike and myself. Go ahead, Mike.
Do you solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as board members of the Anthony Wayne Local School District, Lucas County, Ohio, to the best of your abilities and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and qualified? If so, answer, I do.
All right. And then we'll do a call to order. Ray, when you're ready.
Mr. Baden,
Here.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer, Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Stomp.
All right, item number 4 would be the nomination of our president of the board. Do I have any nominations for consideration?
I would like to nominate Jeff Baden.
Okay. We have a nomination.
I'll second.
Any other, second? All right. Any other nominations? No? Ray, when you're ready.
Mr. Baden,
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer, Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Stomp.
There you are, Jeff.
All righty, thank you. Next item will be nomination for Board Vice President. Do we have any nominations?
I would like to nominate Kyle Miller.
Kyle, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Lindsay? Any other nominations? Seeing none. Call.
Mr. Baden,
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer, Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Stomp.
Yes.
Thank you. Now we'll need to take the oath for the president and vice president.
Need your chewer.
Do you solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as president and vice president of the Anthony Wayne Local School District, Lucas County, Ohio, to the best of your abilities and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and qualified? If so, answer, I do.
I do. All right, the next item, D, is establishing school board meeting dates. So at the beginning of the year, we established the cadence for the rest of the year, once a month, plus a few extra as needed. I believe you guys have all seen the schedule. We've all looked at it and agreed on the dates, which they'll be published on the website for board meetings. Typically on Monday evenings is the routine. So that's the first item, and then item E is standing authorizations for board, and there's an attachment here. There's a list of about 20 different standing authorizations that we do every year concerning payment of bills, legal counsel, professional meetings and conferences that we authorize the superintendent and treasurer to approve staff to attend and themselves, appointing purchasing agents, the treasurer and superintendent permits, compliance, several things in the attachment, and those are all no new items from last year. I don't think there are any differences from what we typically do, so, of standing authorizations. That's item E. And then F is school attorney services. So we've got two main attorneys, one local, one in Columbus, that we reference for all of our board activity that are preferenced in the school law. So those memberships are the same as prior years as well. That's item F. Item G is membership of the Board of Education, which is OSBA, which is our Ohio School Board Association annual membership. Lots of good stuff from OSBA and the conference we attend every year, plus all the legal advice we get from them and training and the conglomeration of all the school districts in Ohio that are part of that association. Item H is committee assignments, and we've all agreed on that one as well. Got the assignments. So each of the board members is assigned a committee, or two actually, to attend. And we have committee meetings with just two board members so that it's not a official meeting in public. It can be held with the administrative staff that's pertinent to that information. So we've got Finance and Audit Committee is Kyle and myself. The Athletic Committee will be Kyle Miller and the new board member. Transportation, Buildings, and Grounds is myself and the new board member. Board Policy is Lindsay and Mike, and Curriculum and Instruction is also Lindsay and Mike as the two board members. And then we've got a liaison to Penta County as part of our agreement with Penta. So they'll be the new board member will be the liaison to attend meetings there. And then we also have a legislative liaison to OSBA as a delegate to vote in the annual meeting, and that will be Mike Stom as well. So those are all the committee assignments. And was that the last one? So that's the last one in the group. Any additional comments or discussions? No? If not, we'll make a motion to approve all of those as a group. I'll move. Kyle?
I will second.
And Mike? Oh,
Mr. Baden?
yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer? Yes. Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
All right, and we'll move on to Mr. Herman with the superintendent's update.
We'd like to welcome all of you here tonight, first of all, and thank you for joining us for our January Board of Education meeting. Tonight's a little bit special. We are going to have a State of the District presentation. What I'm hoping to do with that is to basically show that, like at Anthony Wayne Local Schools, our mission remains clear. We are dedicated to empowering every student to be future ready. Tonight, we're going to look at where we stand today and making progress with that, and how we are preparing for tomorrow. So again, just some information that I want to share with you, but I want to start overall with a little bit of our information on our financial health. Before I begin, I do want you to know that the information that I have listed up here is from the 24-25 school year. The reason is because I wanted to have an entire year. I will refer to this current year, on a few items, but I wanted you to have a picture of the full year when we're talking about cost overall for a year to basically run the different departments within our school and the school itself. So talking about this, I want to start out with the district's total revenue for the 24-25 school year. That was $49.7 million. As you can see from basically the funding mix, we rely mostly on local real estate taxes. We have some state aid and other local resources, but that's where the majority of our money comes from. The one thing I do want you to know about that is we receive this. This is strictly talking about the money that we take to run the district day to day. We also receive every year about $4 million, and that's for our permanent improvement funds. I will refer and reference those throughout this presentation also, and I'll let you know when I'm specifically talking about the permanent improvement funds. But for this chart and what I'm talking about within our departments, it's about the money that it costs us to run day to day. One thing I want to let you know is we do have for this revenue for the 24-25 is 49.7. I do want to share that we are anticipating the revenue for the 25-26, our current school year, to be hopefully around 55 million. So you're asking, okay, well, what is the difference? What are we doing? We know that when the valuations took place on our real estate, on our homes and so forth, that it increased what our value was per mil and so forth. By doing that, we also are aware, we talked a lot about this, that it dropped us below the 20 mil floor, and that by the Ohio Constitution states that all schools will receive at least that amount of money to run its school. So because of that, we received about an additional $3.2 million in the real estate taxes for this current year. And the other thing that I want to share with you is with the Nexus funds, we finally, after years and years and years, have that settled. And we know that what we are anticipating every year from here on out is to be receiving somewhere around $3 million for that. So that is going to help our overall revenue. Now, I will give a disclaimer. You also know that legislation right now is out there that's impacting our property taxes. And we contacted the auditor's office to share, like, okay, what impact could that have on us? Because we're very dependent on those real estate taxes, more so than other districts and so forth. And so the response is that they have no more information than we do. They have the wording and so forth, but they do not know the impact. So that is something that we are going to have to watch carefully. But right now, what we are hoping is that our revenue is around $55 million. On the other side of the ledger, I want to discuss our expenditures, and that's for that same period of time. Our expenditures totaled $49.4 million. That's cutting it very close. I will share with you, though, I do take pride. I think we all should take pride in that with that amount of money, we did avoid deficit spending. And even though it's close, we stayed on the right side of that. And what we are hoping to do at this point is, with the additional revenue that we're spending, we're going to still continue to operate, and control our cost and try to be able to have a higher carryover at the end of the year. We're going to still try to keep our expenditures close to where they are, but by having a little bit more additional revenue, we're hoping to have a little bit to have more security at the end of how we are moving forward. Just a couple things that I do want to share with you. What impacts our expenditures? Again, these are expenditures to operate day to day. The things that impact that is the exact same things that impact your home. Inflation. These costs go up. Our costs for contracting with people go up to get something fixed, to purchase items and stuff. That inflation impacts them also. A positive that I do want to share that I feel very good about is that one thing that we do know, you'll see right now schools going on the ballot. You see students or schools that are having difficulties settling contracts and so forth. We have at this time a 3-year contract. We are in the first of a 3-year contract with our unions. We have worked very, very well. I think that we feel that they were more than fair with us, and they feel that we were more than fair with them. And so we are able to somewhat budget for the next 2 years after this year based on knowing what those impacts are going to be. The one impact that always is out there, as you can see, 85% of our budget really is invested directly in our teachers and in our staff and so forth. But the one thing that could impact is we never know what the cost of our insurance is going to be from year to year. So that our premiums could go up, and so that could impact that 22%. But other than that, we feel very good about being able to plan for the future financially. On this next slide, it's talking a little bit about employment and enrollment. The trends in student enrollment and staff, it shows it over the last 4 years. What you can see is we've tried to maintain the staff that we have and feel that we have done pretty well doing so. We're right at 480 staff members. You do see a decline in our enrollment, and that surprises people. They're like, when they see all the building going on and you see all the new houses and construction and so forth, people feel like, oh my gosh, you have to be busting at the seams and so forth. We have had a decline in enrollment overall. I believe there are many reasons for that, but we are going to be watching that closely, just so you know. That's because that does also impact how we do and what we do. Next, we go over to special education and gifted services, and I'm going to, over the next couple slides, share information with you about our departments, what the different departments do, and the cost of some of those departments. We are really committed to meeting every student where they are, and I think that much of our success in this district is based on that, is knowing where our students have needs and trying to meet them at that and assist them. One area that is that's very true for is our special education services. We have a reputation in the area as being one of the strongest special education departments. People believe that the services that we provide are very strong. They also believe that our directors and so forth work very closely with those individuals that are on IEPs, individualized education plans, as well as 504s. Because of that, we do have people that want to receive services here because they know that they are going to be better services than they may receive elsewhere. But there's cost associated with that. We have approximately 950 students that we serve through IEPs and 504s, and the cost for serving those is close to $8.1 million. I will share with you that's an uncontrolled cost because, again, you do not know what students are always coming in. You do not know what those needs are of those students that are coming in. But we, no matter what they are, we as a school district have a responsibility to serve them to the best of our ability, and I believe that we do so. I will share with you just a little bit of, okay, what makes up some of those costs. It really depends on if you think of all the individuals you need, and that may have special needs and so forth, and what they may need to be successful in order to be educated. We have people with extreme medical needs. We have nurses that are assisting one-on-one. We have aides that are helping. We have, when it talks about adaptive services, they might need speech therapy. They might need occupational therapy. They could need adaptive physical education and so forth. Those are all services, if a student needs that we are going to provide those students and are required to provide them. We look at placements. Are they, is the most appropriate placement for them in the buildings of Anthony Wayne Local Schools? A lot of times they may have some type of special need that would be able to be served and they'd be able to be educated better elsewhere. So then we would have to contract with other facilities in order to assist those students, and we have the responsibility of transporting them as well. So you can see how quickly some of those costs can add up. So for our special education, close to $8.1 million. I then want to go into our gifted services. When you're talking our gifted services, you have 759 students that are identified as gifted students. The cost that we have associated with that is around $500,000. Well, you might say, well, how do we get by with $500,000 for gifted services and the other's $8.1 million for that number of students? It's very different. The needs are different. What we are able to do is we figure out what, how we are going to serve our gifted students, and then we plan for that. At this point, we have that they are serviced sometimes by pull-out instruction or individuals going in, they're gifted teachers going in, and that would be in the K-6. You will notice that we have 6 gifted instructors hired just to do that. Along with that, we do have some instructional resources that we have to purchase for them. But the other students, once they hit 7 through 12, they are serviced through the honors program, through AP and so forth. So those are classes that are already in existence, staff that we have, but we are able to serve their, give them gifted services through that. So it's also very, very important to us to maintain a safe and modern learning environment. That's a top priority for us. So I want to share the cost of operations. Again, for the cost of operations, I'm talking about our day-to-day cost to keep this, to keep our buildings open and going. We have repairs to the building. You can see that the cost for that is $4.5 million. That's for people that are cleaning. That is for people that are mowing the lawns and maintaining everything. Also in that, we have when a building needs repaired or some that's, you know, we have a leak somewhere, that type of thing. Those are considered operating costs, and they come from our operating budget. We have approximately $850,000 worth of those this past year. Supplies, that would be, you know, cleaning supplies, toilet paper, those types of things. It had approximately $200,000 and approximately $800,000 to the utilities just to keep the lights on and so forth. So that's just to share. That is, I will talk a little bit about facilities and the cost to our facilities for permanent improvement. That $4.5 million, again, goes back to our operating funds and our operating budget. For transportation, I think this is amazing. You do know that we have one of the largest school districts in the state of Ohio. We have 77 square miles. Because of that, we bus a large area. We drive approximately 10,000 miles every year, our buses do. Along with that, we have about 2,500 student riders. That causes us to need 40 buses. Those 40 buses are on those routes every day. I will tell you one of the things that I love most, it's kind of silly, but I absolutely love being back here when they pull out at the end of the day, and they all, you know, are coming in and going off. It is like clockwork how they operate, but I have very great confidence that when they do, that they are safely driving that number of kids and getting them home. Along with that, along with transportation, the other parts, we have payment in lieu. That cost us about $110,000. Payment in lieu is for those individuals that decide to have their children go to private school and so forth, and we don't provide transportation to them. We are required by state law in order to pay them for transporting them themselves. We have approximately $110,000 in that a year. Repairs to the buses, we have at least $200,000 in, and I just thought this was kind of an interesting fact. We had $60,000 in tires last year. So just some information about those, but I think, again, what I'm very proud about in these different departments is how well they all run and what it takes to have all of them running efficiently every day. And this is what we constantly share throughout the district is we also all have a part. Every staff member has a role in this district, and we need that. We need what they do. It's important what they do in order to have us function as we do and efficiently as we do overall. Our support services extend beyond the classroom. I want to share a little bit about our technology. Oh, I do want to go back to the transportation real quick. It also stated about we replace 3 to 4 buses annually. The minimum price for a bus, minimum bid is around $110,000. So, and that comes out of our permanent improvement fund. Again, when you think of permanent improvement, think about something that lasts more than 5 years. Its use is going to be at least 5 years, and so a bus does that. So that does come out of that, but that is an additional cost that comes out of that $4 million that I shared was permanent improvement. So going into the technology a little bit, I want to share with you that we have money that comes out of both our general fund and our permanent improvement fund to operate our technology department. This is such an important area. As you know, when we are preparing students to be future ready, we know that technology impacts that. And that is something that we are working on every day is how do we keep up with the technology in order to have our students prepared for their futures. We have what we call a one-to-one. What that means is not every student at every grade level has a device that they take home, but we have enough devices for every student to have one. We have our upper grades that do take them home. Our lower grades, they keep them within the classrooms and utilize them, but technology is integrated in all that we do. We do have, so the $500,000 general fund, that are the people that we have in place in order to be able to assist with the technology. Not only that, we also have some other costs that, like repairs to our Chromebooks and so forth, that comes out of that general fund also. When we go and buy the Chromebooks, or we buy computers, or we buy the laptops for staff members and so forth, that actually comes out of our permanent improvement. As you will see, that $850,000, that helped replace some of our teacher laptops last year. So that's our technology. Going down to food service, I think this is an amazing number that we served approximately 50,000 breakfasts last year and approximately 267,000 lunches. I'm going to share with you a little bit later about how our breakfast program has increased and why. But I also wanted to share that with that is that 18.4% are at free and reduced. Why is that important? That shows a need throughout the district, and we've watching that has continuously increased over the years. And so we do recognize that, and knowing that if there's a need for food, there's also other needs, and so how do we provide those needs to our students and their families? And then the capital improvements. Overall, it takes food service about $1.6 million to operate. The one thing I do want to share is that is self-funded. The state says to us that you cannot make money off of the school lunch program. So that does not go through all of our operating costs. It's like they have their own little business. They have their own account, but they pay their individuals out of it, they pay for the food out of it, and then capital improvements. We just did a freezer and refrigerator improvement. That all came out of the money that they have. I will share a little bit that they do have a carryover at this time, and that's because of money that they received during COVID, reimbursements that they received for lunches during COVID. And I will share in a few minutes what we decided to do with that. So good things happening, I believe. Next, I want to talk a little bit about our success. We have a lot to celebrate in this school district. It's currently ranked in the top 5% of the districts in the entire state. Specifically, I would want to share that this is a true testament not only to the work of our students and staff, but also to the supportive parents that have made it a priority and that emphasize to their children it's important to get a strong education. Overall, I want to share that based on our performance index, that the district ranked 30th, and that is out of 607 districts. So that shows that we do have strong academic performance. We should be very proud of that. And we are going to continue to work to maintain that and build upon those opportunities. I want to share that success at Anthony Wayne isn't just measured by test scores, though. Our students excel in the arts, athletics, and a wide variety of extracurricular activities. We believe that these programs are essential to provide the opportunities for a well-rounded student. I will also share that percentage-wise of students that are involved in athletics and extracurriculars, I don't know the exact percentage, but we have more participation in this school district than the average school district. So we're proud of that. You can go on. I would encourage you to look at our quality profile. I'd encourage you to look at our website and so forth. A lot of times we have those successes listed and what our students are participating in. So now I want to look a little bit at our strategic plan. Our strategic plan was developed in 2022, it was to go through the school year 2022 to 2027. So it is, we're in the 4th year of it. Next year is the last year of our strategic plan. And with that, wanted to look a little bit into the future. We are truly making consistent progress on our core goals and our strategies that we have established in this plan. And I also am very proud to say that I believe that we are staying very true to our vision of being a premier school district and having our students prepared for whatever future they choose. Our first strategic goal focuses on, and I want to go over each of them, we have 5. Our first focuses on, really it's the heart of our mission. It's student learning. We are committed to providing personalized learning opportunities. I shared a little bit of that when we were discussing special education and gifted education, but this goes throughout. And we want to meet the students wherever they are. We do this through a multi-tiered system, and I want to just discuss that quickly. So when we talk about supporting academic, social behavior, and personal needs of individual students, how do we do that? Well, one of the ways that we do it is we benchmark all of our students K-12 3 times a year in the areas of reading and math. So then what they do, we have every school building has a team, and they truly take those benchmarks and the information they know, and so when there's a student that they are concerned with, they come together as a team, they meet on that student, they talk about what may be beneficial for that student, how can we give extra help, what classes may be beneficial, what needs to be put in place to help support the student. Those are the things that happen with this MTSS. And I am going to challenge anyone to find it operating or working better in any other school district than what it does in ours. And it truly, truly does impact the education that our students receive. Along with that, we met with all of our stakeholders at the beginning of our strategic plan and developed the portrait of a general. The stakeholders and all the individuals that we're involved with, they said it's very important that when students graduate from here, in order to have them future ready, they need to have the ability to communicate well and collaborate. They need to have adaptability and flexibility. They need to be lifelong learners. They need to have critical thinking skills and empathy skills. We work that into everything that we do in our school day. And so when our students leave here, again, because that's what one of the emphasis that we have, that our students need to have those skills, we feel confident that they are going to, and that will allow them to be successful in their futures. I also think that we have a lot of opportunities, whether a student is going to go on in college and continue their education, whether they're going into the workforce, whether they're going into the service and so forth. We have different opportunities for them to build those skills. We do that through advanced placement, College Credit Plus, career tech programs, and so forth. We have a lot of opportunities, and what we encourage our students to do is when they have goals and when they have thoughts, to sit down with their counselors and so forth and discuss them and make sure that they're getting the supports and their caseload is what it needs to be in order to have them ready for whatever it is that their goals are after graduation. To support that learning, I next want to go into curriculum and instruction, which is our goal number 2. Our second goal really focuses on high-quality curriculum and instruction. We are heavily invested in reading instruction. I will share with you that when we went back to the beginning and said that 85% of our operating budget goes back to our staff members, that's because we want the strongest instructors in those classrooms that we can have. We know that the number one factor to student success and student progress is what happens within the classrooms, and we want our A-team at all times working with those students. Those teachers in those classrooms go through a great deal of training. Again, we're focused on creating a structured literacy plan at the young ages, because we believe that when you're learning to read, those different components to do that need to be incorporated into the instruction so that our students can be successful not just in reading, but we believe that that helps them in all subject areas. You will also notice that when we do have professional development, we really have tried to incorporate teacher voice into those over the past few years, because that was one of our focuses. We have enhanced our professional development opportunities by asking staff members, what is it that you need? And we know that many different teachers are going to need many different things. So they have choice. We've tried to incorporate choice into their professional development opportunities, where this individual needs this, so let's provide some opportunities in this area. Another individual needs something else, let's have opportunities in that area. So I'm very happy with the progress that is made. Also, but you will notice that then that we also adopt materials and curriculum resources. Over the past few years, we have, you can see there all of the updates that we have done. The cost of those are extremely expensive. I will share with you that those two are meant to last for more than 5 years, and so they too generally come out of our Permanent Improvement Fund. Goal number 3, community engagement. Goal 3 is all about our partnership with you and engaging our community. We've worked really hard to enhance our communication. We've done that through updating our website, adding an app, our newsletters, and so forth. We have a staff newsletter. We have a community newsletter. But our engagement, we believe, needs to go beyond just sharing information. It's about trying to make connections. And so over the past few years, we really have done that. We've heard, sat down and listened to people, that said, we want you to be more transparent. Okay, what does that mean? We've listened about, hey, we believe this is a great program. You need to continue that. Great. Hey, here's a concern that I have. I want to do that. We really have taken the time. Hopefully you feel that. If you've participated in those, we thank you for that. But to listen to your thoughts and so forth. And we want to continue to do that and to continue to have that engagement. One other thing that you're going to be hearing more about very, very soon that I'm truly excited about when we discuss that we are listening to what you have to say. When levies didn't pass, what came up a lot of times was, what are you doing to kind of create revenue without just having to go and ask taxpayers and so forth? So we have worked very, very diligently to create a group of volunteers, which we are actually meeting this Friday for one of the first times on. It's a group of volunteers that are separate from the school district, but they are the Generals for Generations. They are creating a foundation that they are hopefully going to be able to generate private donations to help support some of the things that our general fund can't. For example, there's something that needs done in a classroom that we're not able to do, but they could take that on as a project and through private funding and so forth be able to offer opportunities and offer assistance, again, where we may not. We call it Generals for Generations because what we're really looking at is generals from the past, whether it be our alumni or just individuals that love this school district, working together to support our current generals and our future generals. Again, I do want to share that they are completely separate. It's like a support organization, almost like a parent-teacher organization. They have their own 501c3, and they will be deciding, how it is that they raise their funds and the initiatives with that. But again, you're going to be hearing more about that very soon, but I'm excited about the opportunities that our Generals for Generations offers. Goal 4 is our resources and facilities, and we are not only committed to being good stewards financially, but we are also committed to being good stewards of our physical resources. It is a true goal of ours to ensure that our facilities remain safe. Safety is important to our community, that they remain safe, and that they also are conducive to learning. You can see listed several of the projects that we have done over the past couple years. The fuel pump replacement project, that's going to be about a $1 to $1.2 million project. That is something that we're going to be working on this summer. But you can see the cost and some of the cost price tags that go along with that. Those are things that people don't always know, but these, again, are items that go out of that $4 million. So I've told a lot that goes out of that $4 million. we have to be very, very careful with that money as well to make sure that we are able to keep our facilities up, that we're able to keep our buses on the road and so forth, and our technology current with those funds. Additional improvements, you can see those listed as well. It's just really important for us to continuously move our district forward, both academically and then also to have our facilities always improving them and keeping the watch on are they ready for our students and to have them prepared for the future and future learning as well. Next, I want to go into students and staff ready to learn. What does that mean? It means that are the things taken care of so that when our students enter the classroom, their minds are ready and able to be focused on learning, and the same for our staff members. When they go into classrooms and they're going to doing their jobs, they're able to focus on that. Some things that we've done to help prepare for that and focus on the well-being of our school community has been to hire a social worker. We hired a social worker several years back. She works very closely. When I shared with you that we have students and families that have needs within this district, she works closely with them to make sure that their needs are being met, because we know that if their basic needs aren't being met, that they're not going to be able to come in and learn as we want them to and so forth. She does a lot with that. I also mentioned to you that I was going to share with you how we've increased the breakfast program. What we have done, because we also believe it's very important that students have nutrition and that they have food to start their day and to keep their energy up. So we have started this year, we have made a free breakfast program. I said that because the food service operates on its own and it's responsible, it's kind of like its own little business, it did have additional money, so when it does, we have to spend that money down. And so how we chose to spend that money down at this time is to be able to provide free lunches. We have seen that increase at least double to triple the amount of individuals that are taking advantage of the breakfast program now. And then one other thing I just want to focus on just very quickly is the Back to School Bash. What is that Back to School Bash when we're talking about having students ready to learn? Sounds like fun. It is fun. I will share with you that we go into the community. The district goes into the community, and we work with individuals that aren't always able to get their students here to get them registered and so forth. So we go into the community. We make sure that we are able to register the students, that we're able to, if they need to fill out applications for free and reduced lunch, we're able to assist them right at that time. We're able to make sure that they have school supplies. We're able to make sure that if they need assistance on the weekends with food, that we make a connection with them so that they're able to receive that. That happens through the school. And also, one of the best things is they also get Anthony Wayne wear, because when they come to school, we want them to feel like every other student as well. And so they are able to get as many sweatshirts, t-shirts, and so forth as they need in order to have them throughout the year. So again, we really do look at the overall importance of making sure that our students are not only being given what they need in the classroom, but what they need in order to be prepared for the classroom. So as we look towards the 2027, 2032, that'll be our next strategic plan, we must, we look at the challenges that we have in front of us. We know that some of those challenges could be state laws that have to do with funding. We know that they could do with enrollment shifts. We've discussed that. However, along with these challenges, we also have opportunities. We're excited to deepen our community partnerships, to innovate our academic offerings, and to ensure that our students graduate future ready. That's what it's about, and that is what we're going to continue to do. We are going to give them the skills and the technology skills that they need to thrive in this ever-changing environment, and we are going to be side by side with them doing that. So that is kind of the presentation. In closing, I just want to share that this strategic plan truly has been a journey. The next one is sure to be as well. And as we approach the end of our cycle and begin planning for the next, again, feel free to contact us when you have questions. Your voice is important. And so if how people feel about the education their children are receiving, how students feel about the education that they're receiving, how the staff feels about the environment that they're working in, all of that's important. All of that stuff has to come together very well in order to provide the education and the opportunities that we do, and to make AW a great place to go to school, work, and to represent our community. Very happy that I feel that we have made progress on doing so, and I will share with you that we are going to work very hard each and every day to continue to do so. So, thank you. The next part of the superintendent's report is going to be, I shared about how important it is for our students to be active and have opportunities and to make our district proud. And a group that has made us extremely proud, and I will tell you, it was I was reflecting this past weekend on great moments in my career and so forth, and I want to share when they won that state title, watching that game, being a part of that was one of those moments. So thank you all for what you did in order to make that happen and to be able to give me that memory. I'd like to call Mr. Schneider and Ms. Williams up. Team, I would like you to come up because I want everybody to get a good picture of you. So if you would like to go up and stand behind them, I'm on the stage.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Herman. This is starting to become a bit of a habit, coming to see you guys every month to discuss the success we have with our athletic department. Last month I was here to discuss our volleyball program and their state runner-up performance. The month before that, excuse me, it was about cross country and tennis. And tonight is another group that has set school history. You know, our first OHSA team championship for the state was in 2003. And it took a while to get back there, but 3 years ago our golf team did it. And then just 6 months ago our baseball team did it. And then just a couple months ago, now our girls soccer team has done it. So that wait was worth it because now we have 3 state championships in the last 3 years. And with that said, when you do my job, I'm going to talk about the person to my right real quick because Coach Williams just loves attention. When you do my job, you cheer obviously for our kids and for our teams, but you also cheer for the coach. And of our 24 head coaches we have, Coach Williams is only one of 2 that was here before I got this job. And so 1, that shows how old we both are, but 2, shows the loyalty that she has for this school, for this program, and for most importantly this district. I can honestly say she is an incredible coach, leading an incredible group of young ladies who have set history. And with that in mind, I'm going to introduce Coach Lori Williams. Coach.
I just told him, thanks, old man. I get the chance to talk about these incredible girls up here. We want to make sure we say thank you for letting us come here to help celebrate these girls. This year our motto was kind of, you had to be there. We spoke to the girls about how there are some things in life that are just better lived and experienced and going through it than just hearing about it. So I want to talk a little bit about some of those highlights of what we got to do this fall. The group in front of you, and we had a couple who had other obligations, so they couldn't be here, but we had 2 incredible student managers, 6 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 9 juniors, and 7 special seniors, 4 of which who have decided to play at the collegiate level next year. To comprise our team that we took to the state championship. These 24 athletes have a remarkable 4.16 GPA, so above a 4.0 amongst these 24 student athletes. This past season, we scored 83 goals and only surrendered 13. Of the 22 games that we played this season, 13 of those were shutouts where we held the opponent to 0 goals. They can call themselves sectional, regional, and district champions, and then with a 19-0-3, an undefeated record, we can also call them state champions. While the state final game being on a Friday at noon isn't exactly the time I would have picked for it, we felt the send-offs, the videos from the watch parties from all the students who were back at the district, and to all those who actually made the trip down to Columbus. The support was literally palpable. We could feel the support of the community wrapping their arms around these girls, and it was neat to hear all the girls' stories of different people reaching out to them at the supermarket and other times during their day, and how much that meant to them and meant to our team and was a huge reason for our success. I think our boys' team actually joined our team at one point. They were at as many games as I was. We're so thankful for every call, every text, every email, and selfishly, I'm a hugger, so also those hugs. So we appreciate that from every community member and every person in this community who reached out to these girls. This wouldn't happen without an incredible alumni support and incredible community support. So Mr. Snyder called me really old. This is my 23rd season at Anthony Wayne as a staff member as well as a coach, and every single one of those alumni helped pave the way for this to happen. We're so lucky to have a community that wrapped their arms around us, and now our community can kind of take on that moniker as well because they were there. They were part of it. So they too can say that you had to be there because they were. So I want to say thank you for letting us get recognition for these incredible girls tonight. I'm so proud of what they've done, but more importantly, I can't wait to see what their futures hold because what you are on the field is just a small inkling of who they are as people, and these people are determined and bound for success. I know that for sure, having the pleasure to get to work with them for the last some of them since they were 6 or 7 years old. So I'm super lucky to get to coach these young ladies. Board, thank you for the recognition for these girls, and thank you for everything you do for our students and student athletes. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Is Anita here? Kevin? She's not. All right, thanks again, Mr. Herman, for the State of the District, and congrats to the soccer team. Great presentation by both. The next item on the is to approve and sign Board of Education minutes from our last meeting. Is there a motion to approve those? I'll move. Kyle, second. Lindsay, second. Go ahead.
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
And item 7, the treasurer's report.
Thank you. Item A is our monthly financials. We were balanced for the month of December. Those are included in item A. Item B is donations we received from people in the community as well as organizations. We're very thankful for those donations. And then item C is we ask you to approve the membership to the Ohio Education Policy Institute for 2026. That is all I have for treasurer's report.
That's it?
That's it.
Any other questions or comments, discussion? Anyone? Thank you, Ray. I do like the new format, all the, the charts comparing last year to this year and all that stuff, so.
Thank you.
Very nice. With that, we'll ask for a motion to approve the treasurer's report, items A through C. Kyle? In a second. Lindsay? And a roll call?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
And with that, we'll roll into superintendent's reports.
I think I've taken up about enough time, so I will just share very quickly. I do have in front of you, when we're talking about engaging our alumni, we are having a special event on February 14th. It's for individuals that have you know, maybe they dated in high school, maybe they didn't, but they both graduated or from Anthony Wayne and then are together as a couple. We are trying to call them, we're calling them AW True Blue Sweethearts. We are having a reunion for them. We're going to start it at 5:30. They're going to get in free to the basketball game, and then afterwards at 7, and we're going to have a reception. Just very quickly, we're going to give some tours of the school so that they can see kind of maybe if it's different than what it was when they were here. We're going to have the yearbooks out so that they can look through those. We're going to have some snacks. We're going to have where they can take a portrait. We've actually received some that have sent in like pictures of them when they graduated and pictures of their families now for us to post some of those things just for them to see. We're hopefully going to have some performances from, you know, possibly our band, choir, that type of thing, just as a way of recognizing those individuals and kind of engaging our alumni. So did want to share that with you. Hopefully you'll be hearing more about that. That's something we're trying, and we'll see how it turns out. Next, I wanted to share with you then in item B would be our educational agreements. We only have one agreement this time, and again, when I shared with you in the message about transportation for special education, this is one of those times that we have a student on IEP that needs to be transported for extended school year, and so that's what that is. That's what that contract is. We'll move next into our information on the curriculum. We've had a curriculum meeting this past week. Actually, it was this week, earlier this week. And so I want to share from that what you can see is the information of books that they're asking to be added to the reading list that teachers would like to use with their instruction. You also will see two of the, for the junior high and the high school, the curriculum guides. Those are the courses that they're going to be offering because it's time to start scheduling students for this coming year. So anything that you'd like to share, Mr. Connor? I know that, any questions? And Lindsay was a part of that as well.
Quick question on the technology changes on the curriculum guides. What was driving the different classes? What was it? Some video game programming classes and things like that that are going away?
The introduction of the new courses for the junior high, they're taking advantage or just using it as an opportunity. Mr. Ballone, whose students absolutely love, is retiring, so that's really sad. But they're taking the opportunity to kind of have a replacement plan and revamp some of those courses. And that's what you see, the Power Stories and Survive the Story. That will be classes where they'll read books, I think fiction and nonfiction, a lot of nonfiction of real life stories and how those impact individuals. And then I'm not sure which one is which, but one is also how to write a story that shares like a personal experience. I think those will be, I know with my own children, they really like to read stories of real people and how they've overcome and that sort of thing. And then career connections in industry, there's already that. Apparently that class is so loved by the students, they'll take it a second time, and so they're the Mr. Myers, is that who teaches that? Okay. Instead of the kids just taking the same class over, he decided to have a career connections too, to offer some new offerings. And then the supplemental text, the big list, especially I thought that stuck out for Fallen Timbers Middle School, Mrs. Black, she was noticing, just some students that don't enjoy reading. You just can't seem to get them to read on their own. And so she came up with this list of books, and they're going to do just like read out loud as a class to try to pique their interest in reading, maybe some different things, and then introduce them to having a joy of reading. So I thought that that was really just encouraging for her to think outside the box like that, to have those stories. And I read Sideways Stories from Wayside School in 4th grade, and that is actually one of the books that really got me into loving reading. So I was excited to see that on her list. But do you guys have any other questions or anything on there? No?
All right. Item D is just Mr. Burke is recommending an individual to graduate early. So that is item A through D.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve? Mike, and a second?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
No, he was first. You were second.
Okay, next we have personnel recommendations. You can see those individuals. We have basically resignations in that area. Steve Morrison helped us throughout this first semester, and he is doing some other things going on, and so we're replacing that position currently. And then we have some bus drivers and so forth, and I know that they're working very hard right now to fill those positions as well. So these are current resignations, and we will hopefully be filling them in the very near future. When you talk about employment, we have individuals that are listed are going to be doing different jobs throughout the district. And so we want to make sure that a lot of them you can see is a custodian, bus aide, special education aide, cafeteria, playground aide, and so forth, and one bus driver there as well. Then we have our substitute individuals that we try to hire every month, and you can see that they are being added to the list and being recommended then by our human resources and Dr. Contat. Next in D, we have our volunteers. Our volunteers are individuals that are going to be helping out with those sporting events. You can see the list of the volunteers and the sports that they will be helping with. And then we have our limited supplemental contracts. And again, as we've shared, they're going to be coaches that do not currently work within the district. And then our final item, item F, is contract amendments, and those listed there have been given approval to amend their contracts.
All right. Any questions, comments? Or a motion to approve A through F? Mike, second? Lindsay? Roll.
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
Yes. All right, next section is any board comments for this evening? Any additional?
Just super quick, I like to share any stories that I hear about the students from one meeting to the next, so I will go fast. But back in when the SpongeBob musical was going on, this year they changed it. When you got tickets, you had to sit in your actual seat that you purchased. So we didn't realize that. We waited late, so our family couldn't sit together. And so I was talking to my husband and my son behind me, trying to figure things out and just let them know what was going on. And the two high school girls next to me just happened to overhear, and they said, "Oh, is that your family? Did you guys want to sit together?" And I said, "Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it." But it was just so kind of them I just thought it just made me proud that they were willing to do that. And then I ran into a high school senior at Chick-fil-A during exams week and asked her what she was doing there. I was like, "Oh, are you getting yourself an exam snack?" And she said, "No, I'm actually here for my sister. She's really stressed about exam week." And I'm like, "And you're not getting yourself anything?" And she was just there surprising her sister, getting her a shake to take home for exam week. I thought that was super, super sweet. And then you guys may have seen on Facebook in the last day, the 3 boys. Did you see that? That was at the Shell station, and they asked the worker, would you like a pizza? And she kind of jokingly said yes. Well, they went and one boy stayed there. The other two went and got her a pizza and brought it back just out of the goodness of their heart. And it's those type of stories that make, this position can be stressful, but I just love hearing the stories of, our students outside of the academics, giving of themselves, serving others, being kind, and I'll never get tired of hearing those and sharing those stories. So just thought I'd share those with you guys.
Cool, thank you. All right, next section is recognition of visitors, and we've got one person, Mr. Roy Calico, signed up. If you want to go ahead and take the mic. They're coming. They're coming. The experts are coming.
Good evening. My name is Roy Colasso, and I'm the parent of a student in the Anthony Wayne School District. I'd like to thank Superintendent Herman, Dr. Pfeffeli, Mrs. Johnson, and members of the school board for serving our school district and community, and also express my appreciation to the teachers, administrators, and staff who strive to bring out the best in our kids every day. Today I'm here to talk about an important issue affecting our state. As a resident, part of my taxes goes towards paying for public safety services like the police department. However, I have learned that our police department doesn't practice law enforcement the way I think they should, based on my political and religious values. I also think it's unfair that I'm forced to rely on and pay for these services, and so I'm proposing a novel solution. I will hire a private security agency to protect my home and family, but since my taxes help pay for our city's police, my neighbors must help pay for my private security. I have reached out to several security agencies, and they fully support this solution, as do all elected members of my political party, who agree that I must have a choice in who protects my family. Now, some have suggested that I merely get a refund of that small portion of my taxes that goes to law enforcement. However, since this may be unconstitutional, I propose a compromise. The state should just give me a safety voucher, which could be as much as 10 times the amount I currently pay for hiring our local police. Based on the number of residents in their households, every family who takes advantage of my program will be able to claim vouchers between $6,000 and $8,000 per person per year from the state of Ohio to meet their private security needs. Now, I suspect some of you are probably thinking, this hypothetical compromise sounds like a scam. Well, you're right. It is a scam. But sadly, it's not hypothetical. Everything I've just proposed is already happening right now in Ohio, but in the K-12 education system with private school vouchers. What began as a sympathetic but misguided attempt to deal with poorly funded schools by allowing kids from low-income families in so-called failing school districts to attend private schools in the area has now morphed into a billion-dollar boondoggle with Ohio's EdChoice expansion, in which state-funded vouchers are available to all school districts and all income levels, even billionaires. This has resulted in the transfer of billions of dollars of public money to a private industry, that is the private school system, which isn't exactly fiscally conservative. Despite 3 rulings from the Ohio Supreme Court that current Ohio school funding is unconstitutional, one-party rule in Columbus for almost 40 years has ignored those rulings, as a result of which public schools are still underfunded, even though private school vouchers have been fully funded every year. In 2024-25, the state of Ohio spent $1.1 billion on private school vouchers, claiming it was desperately needed to give families more school choice. But while Ohio gave out 69,000 new vouchers, private school enrollment grew by less than 3,700, meaning that 95% of the new vouchers went to students already enrolled in private schools and whose parents could already afford private tuition. Furthermore, while public schools must account for every taxpayer dollar spent and must accept all students irrespective of ability, private schools that now get $1 billion of your tax dollars are never audited by the state and can pick and choose which students they accept. Closer to home, in the 24-25 school year, there were approximately 3,802 students enrolled in the Anthony Wayne schools, for which the district received just $813 per student from the state share of the base cost for this program. In contrast, 614 students in the district who used private school vouchers received up to $8,408 from the state per student. Once again, that's $813 for each Anthony Wayne student versus up to $8,000 per student in private schools. By the way, 97% of Anthony Wayne families using school vouchers do not qualify as low income, and Anthony Wayne is ranked in the top 5% of public schools in the state, not exactly a failing school district. In June of last year, an Ohio trial court judge ruled that the state school voucher program is unconstitutional. This decision is currently being appealed by the Republican Attorney General on behalf of private, mostly parochial schools that educate 12% of Ohio students. If Ohio continues the nationwide trend of private school vouchers burning a large hole in our state budget, then public education will see even greater cuts from Columbus, which will further reduce funding for high-wealth districts like Anthony Wayne. If area parents want to avoid additional education funding cuts, higher property taxes, or loss of services, we should start paying attention to whom we elect, what their positions on school vouchers are, and on whose behalf they are working. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving to the next item is executive session. And just to preface this, the intention is for the board to go into executive session for discussion of employment, public school employees or officials. And our intention when we come out would be to still have some public business, which would be appointing the open position of the board. So that is our intention when we come back out of executive session. You're more than welcome to stay or watch it on the live stream to find out, and there'll be a press release and everything afterwards as well. But we need to take some time. In addition to, we've had lots of conversation, public conversation and input and discussions amongst ourselves individually, but have not had the opportunity as a board to sit down and discuss, all four of us. So that is the intention of the executive session. So if we have a motion to enter executive session. Kyle? Yep. In a second? I'll second. Mike?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer? Yes. Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stamm?
Yes.
And we'll be moving to another room and then come back here after. Got it. Kyle, second?
Second.
Mike? All right.
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer? Yes. Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Staub?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for your patience. Now that we are back into our last item is appointment of a new board member. I will preface this to say that we had a lot of good discussion. We have so much talent. We really appreciate all 4 candidates, actually all 25 candidates that applied for this position. A lot of good, hearty discussion of all the positive qualities and just the great environment that we're in, that we have this many people to apply. So I think at this point, we're ready to take a motion for appointment of a new board member. This will fulfill Shelley's term for 2 years, and then it will be open for an election point. So they will be, actually inducted, or what do you call it, at the February meeting, sworn in.
Sworn in,
Yes.
yeah, in February.
So we'll start including them in the communications, but they're actually officially sworn in the beginning of the February meeting. So I will entertain a motion at this time.
A motion to nominate Amy Barrett.
Amy, is there a second?
I will second.
Mike, second for Amy. Any further discussion?
First of all, thank you guys all for sticking around. There was a lot of conversation back there. There was a lot of good things said about all the people that were being discussed. So I thank you guys. I think we would have had quite a few good options on there. So
Thank you. All right, we'll take a roll.
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Staub?
yes.
And with that, congratulations to Amy. She apologized she couldn't be here tonight with she had a funeral attendant or service. And with that, I will take a motion for adjournment. Kyle?
I'll second.
Mike? And a roll?
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Staub?
Yes.
Thank you all.